Well, everything is becoming clear, isn't it? Everything is going perfectly according to plan. Today, we're going to talk about some very important Trump initiatives in this first 24 hours of office. And I'm literally in shock. Now, I say that absolutely not out of fear. This isn't a fear channel. Everything we say can be looked up and verified. It's the truth. Now, if the truth scares people, that's between them and God, because you're not reading the word, which tells you the truth will set you free. Why does it set you free? Because it sets you free from this tug of war, this fake right and left tug of war that puts people to sleep. And that's what truly keeps people in fear. Fear of, oh, we're all going to get nuclear assassinated. Oh, this, oh, that. Oh, fear of, dying of COVID. All these fears that they put on us. Well, when you know the truth, it sets you free. And you also know the end game, which is Jesus Christ. There is no need for fear. Who wants to live in this world? We want to live in the next world, don't we? So, when I say I'm in shock, when I say unbelievable, it's to try to raise people's level of discernment so they can see what's going on. Otherwise, this channel just gets drowned out in the backdrop of all the useless information out there that has people running in circles. Now, I know you've probably already got wind of Trump's AI project Stargate on other channels that broke it first. But what you're going to hear today on this channel is brand new information so we can start to make sense of all this. You guys, I Am Legend is playing out before our eyes with the recent announcement within the last 24 hours by Trump of a cure for cancer. Now, the cure that they're talking about is connected to the original COVID warp speed mRNA SMAC technology. They're literally going to leapfrog off of that technology to cure cancer. Now, I told you this was going to happen. Why? Because we already said this back in 2017, before there was even a spam-demic. I told you they would mess with the DNA and they would come up with a cure for cancer, because that's what happened in the movie. It was predictive programming. In fact, the sequel to I Am Legend is coming out this year. Because guess what? That whole ritual with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, courtesy of the alopecia sponsor at that Grammys, which just so happened to conveniently sponsor that event for his wife, who also, quote unquote, had alopecia. That all fits into the bald zombie matrix, because that's what happened to the zombies in I Am Legend. They went bald from the cure. Are you awake yet? I hope you are. And just in case you're thinking this is just some kind of sensationalist channel, let me help you wake up so you can take this seriously. Now, in the film I Am Legend, it is Emma Thompson who makes the claim that they cured cancer. In this film, this is what leads to the zombie apocalypse. 5.8 billion dark seekers ate humanity, essentially. Well, guess what? I hope you're sitting down for this. Emma Thompson is connected to the very man who made the announcement that they're going to cure cancer in the last 24 hours. What are you talking about, Casey? There's no way these two people can be connected. They absolutely are. This is him here. This guy in the middle, his name is Larry Ellison. And guess what? His son is a movie producer. A movie producer who Emma Thompson wrote a letter to just before the spam-demic. Why did she write a letter to Larry Ellison's son, the movie producer, just before the spam-demic in 2019? Well, she was backing out of a John Lasseter film. Because remember, John Lasseter, the Pixar guy, was disgraced for groping his employees. And Larry Ellison's son, David, as you can see right here, it's all in black and white. He wanted to hire John Lasseter back for a new project, to do an animation project called the Skydance Animation Project. Now, we're going to break all this down later, this cure for cancer, but I wanted to give you guys the backdrop of all this so you can understand what's going on. I know it's a lot of information. Trump is he's releasing all this information at warp speed. I'm doing everything I can to keep up with this, to look at it through spiritual eyes. And it is going at a fever pitch. There's a lot of information, but I'm going to try to simplify it for you so you can understand. Now, this is very important, what I'm going to say next. There is a link in the description of this video to a 3-hour documentary that I put together and uploaded in 2020, right in the middle of the spam-demic. And I sourced that documentary from earlier videos in which we decoded I Am Legend. It went all the way back to 2017, the first year that Trump was in office, in his first presidency. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, because in that decode, which includes, again, the years 2017 to 2020, I decoded I Am Legend, and we warned in the video about a coming spam-demic before it happened. We even linked Trump all the way back in 2017 to this zombie aspect of the spam-demic to come, related to the cure for cancer in the film. So we'll come back to all that. We're also going to cover today Trump's new artificial intelligence, which we said has to be the rise of the beast system. You guys, when this thing is put in place, it's supposed to be completed in 2027. When this thing is done, mark my words, it will create an image of itself. People will be in such awe of all of the things that the AI was able to do, that it will literally project an image of itself, of what it actually looks like, that people will then worship. Just like they said in the book of Revelation. That's what I think is coming next in 2027 when this thing is done. We'll see if that happens. It will be hailed as the solution to all of man's problems. This is how they're talking about it in this press conference. It's going to solve everything and make America the greatest country of all time, of a golden age. They're literally calling the artificial intelligence age the golden age. Now, if you're still under the spell, think about this. If Trump is a real Christian, why isn't he talking about the end times? Why isn't he talking about biblical prophecy? Why isn't he talking about the Bible and the end times, Revelation? A true Christian would be talking about these things, wouldn't they? I am begging you to wake up. Unless you don't believe the Bible, then you'll give Trump a pass. But a true biblical believer would be talking about all the things we're talking about. The end times, right? Now, let's keep going. Remember during the spam-demic, and all the coins disappeared. We had a coin shortage. And I told you that they were probably decirculating copper to help build the 5G base stations. Because remember, that was the rise of 5G. Remember all that? Well, they're going after the penny again. So remember, while we were all locked down, many channels were doing videos on all of this weird 5G construction going on while we were all locked away. There was a lot of these things going up in schools. They were installing 5G networks in schools. So they've shown their hand again. This is the first thing that Elon Musk has mentioned that they're going after, the penny. Now, understand that there is a lot more copper and bronze inside of all the other denominations of coins. Okay. Believe it or not, the penny is only coated with copper. And it's been that way since the 1980s. They're not solid copper anymore. They're only coated with copper. But where all this is headed is they're going to do away with cash altogether. This is just the first pin to fall. The first domino to fall is the penny. So they need the copper in the coins. First it'll be the penny, and then they'll say, you know what? We don't need any of these coins. Or people are going to complain and say, you know what? I'm getting ripped off because since we don't have pennies, they're rounding everything. I'm getting ripped off on some level. This is what they're going to say. And then they're going to say, okay, let's just go all digital. I truly believe that before Trump's presidency ends, there probably won't be any cash left. He's the one that can get it done. Why? Because nobody will oppose him. The Democrats are already on board with that, right? It's the conservatives who want cash to be king. And guess what? Trump will say, oh, don't worry. I got this covered. We don't really need cash. And the conservatives will go along with it just because Trump says. It's the perfect opportunity for the world order to push through the cashless thing. We've got the rise of Bitcoin. We've got the rise of digital currency, cryptocurrency. And Trump will just leverage that and use it. And he might throw out a little bit of money. He might make it palatable for people. He might say, oh, in order to go through this transition, we're going to wipe away all the debt or something like this. You guys are already doing it. Now, what else is going on? Well, all the people at the crapper hole just got pardoned. Now, I 100% agree with that. I don't think they did anything wrong. But understand that this whole cycle, this whole move on the chessboard of first getting them thrown in jail and then 4 years later coming back and releasing them from jail, this was probably a chess move. They were probably put in jail to begin with so that they could be pardoned later. So that we accept all the gifts that Trump comes with, along with all the things that he believes will be necessary to pass in order to install his new presidency. And people will go along with it, even though it doesn't pass a sniff test. They'll go along with it. Why? Because everything that Trump touches turns to gold. Now, in this press conference from yesterday, Trump was asked point blank, are you ready for this? Now, this is one that we actually guessed on. I told you they're not going to end the war. Remember, I was saying this 6 months ago when Trump, or not 6 months, when he got elected, said Trump's not going to end the war in Ukraine, and we're going to keep sending money to the Ukraine. And guess what? Exactly that is happening. Trump said, he was asked point blank if we're going to keep sending money to Ukraine. His answer was a roundabout yes. But here's how he countered the person who asked the question. He said all the other countries need to pay their fair share. And guess what? Not only did he say all the other countries need to pay their fair share, he says the United States is getting ripped off. We're always the ones getting ripped off. And since they're the ones that are closest to Russia, they should be paying way more than U.S. Well, that's a roundabout way of saying we're still going to send some money to the Ukraine, which to me is a travesty. Now, let's get into this new cancer vaccine. Now, if you're new to the channel, we have to say these things a different way because, look, even though if the video stays up, it's shadow banned. So we have to kind of like be careful. I don't do this to try to be clever, to try to raise a false alarm. I do this because I've been doing YouTube for 11, almost 12 years now. And I know how this works. You can't just rattle off all the hot button issues and then expect your video to get seen by anybody except the people on the channel. So bear with me. They are now saying that AI will cure cancer. Now, this guy, let's go back to his image here. This guy in the middle stood up, Larry Ellison. We just talked about him. And he basically said that the AI will assist in early cancer detection. He says the cancer is floating around in the blood and the AI will be able to find it. He goes, then they'll be able to make a tailor-made gene sequence for each individual and so they're going to make a tailor-made vaccine. And guess what they're going to use? You guessed it, mRNA technology. So now it is clear, things have become super clear. It was no accident that Trump presided over Warp Speed, the first mRNA vaccine. And it, to me, in my mind, there's no question that that was a huge, let's see how we're going to say this. You all know they had to see how it was going to affect the population. The two are most definitely connected. It's so obvious to anybody paying attention. They needed the vaccine in order to get to the next stage, to marry it with the AI and the cure for cancer. That's just my opinion. But this is incredible. Now, remember, it was the cancer cure that kicked off the worldwide zombie apocalypse in I Am Legend, which of course is rebooting this year for the part 2. And again, we've been talking about this for 8 years. We knew that this cancer cure would manifest into something dark. Now, in those old videos that's linked in the description, I linked Trump in his first presidency to the movie I Am Legend and the scenario that played out. Why? Because of the Batman versus Superman poster that was on the wall. There's a movie poster on the wall. And now at that time, in 2007, when I Am Legend came out, there was no Batman versus Superman. This was all recent history. And now, why did I connect Trump to Batman versus Superman all the way back then? Well, because Trump Tower and the IBM building next door looks like Batman versus Superman. I wish we could go into Google Earth right now and I could show you. But from the aerial view, Trump Tower looks like a bat boomerang, and next door is the IBM Tower, and from the air, it looks like Superman's insignia on his chest. Now, IBM did a video, not a video, they did an ad, a commercial way back. I think it was in the 90s. And they said, I am Superman. It was that REM song. I am Superman. That's because they're building a shape like Superman's chest plate. So this thing goes back a very, very long way. Now, later in 2020, which is also in the documentary in the pinned in the description, we saw a deeper connection to Trump because of the mRNA vaccine. Now, what was the connection we made there? Well, there were some rare side effects. Well, so they tell us are rare. The reporting is all controlled by them. So who knows? But what were the rare side effects that resembled the nervous system disruptions of the zombies? Remember, the zombies had nervous system disruptions in the film. It almost looked like the precursor to rabies-like behavior. Remember that? Remember? And then we linked that to the side effects that were happening to, quote unquote, some people. The transverse myelitis, which was causing coordination problems, people shuffling around as they walked. The partial paralysis, which was also a zombie rabies-like behavior. The Bell's palsy. We saw taste and smell disappear, another nervous system side effect, and the slam dunk alopecia. Remember, all of the zombies went bald. They all lost their hair, which is what rabid dogs do. They go bald. So, if you want to do a deep dive, check out the link in the description below after this video, and you can see all the evidence. I think I even marked the parts of the documentary that were from 2017, and then the rest of it's from 2020. So you can see. Now, I believe that what is coming next will probably be some kind of curse from God for messing with his creation, his DNA, for trying to preserve life and thus losing it. You guys, there were likely gene editing in the days of Noah as well. And this is where I believe we got dinosaurs from. Now, in the press conference, Trump also mentions his Stargate AI project, $500 billion. And I believe this is the rise of the beast. They're going to build this thing at warp speed, and they're saying that it's going to be completed before he even leaves office. Here's the Stargate project. What is Stargate AI? Well, it consists of literally the brain of our existence. It's literally going to run the entire country. There are a series of data centers, and these billionaires that Trump invited to the podium yesterday said that it will run health. Remember, I was telling you guys, they're going to link health, they're going to link transportation and money. And that's exactly what he said yesterday. They're going to run health, finance, and transportation. The billionaire that Trump had on the podium, literally, Larry Ellison, said it will control electronic health records. Remember all the videos we did on electronic health records? And I told you that this was about combining your health records with currency and travel and buying and selling. Remember I said that all the presidents worked together to make this happen, starting with the Patriot Act and Bush, then Obama and the electronic health record conversions from the paper charts and healthcare, universal healthcare, and then Trump under the spamdemic with the track and trace. And now Trump again plugging your health records into an artificial intelligence. What could go wrong with that? What could go wrong with AI running medicine? He literally said the AI would be helping doctors make decisions about your health. Now, what they didn't say, and we can anticipate will be part of what AI will run, Stargate AI, will be probably job automation and security. But they can't say that yet, can they? But I'm thinking that job automation and security, policing, will also be part of this. Here it is, announcing the Stargate project. $500 billion. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Oracle, and OpenAI collaborating together. Now, this Japanese guy got up. I think his name is Mayoshi. He's investing a bunch of money. He got up. Let's go back to the pictures. You can understand who are these. Okay, I'm going to show you that these are going to be the crowns of Revelation. This guy got up. They actually put him on a booster so he could get up so he could see. And he literally said over and over again that AI is the golden age. You guys, they have essentially humanized AI. They are now saying that it can reason and that it has super intelligence instead of just artificial intelligence. Now, there's a couple videos I have here I'm going to play that where they explain it. Now, these videos were from during the Biden presidency, just to show you that all this is just all connected, right? This was all the way back before even the election. This was like, let's see what the date of these videos is, because Microsoft had already invested $100 billion. This was 9 months ago. I got two videos I'm going to show you. Listen carefully, and they'll explain, and you tell me if this is good for our future. Let me check in with you guys first. Let this chat catch up, answer any questions. This is, I don't know, you guys. I just wish more people saw the truth. There's so much disinformation out there. People are lost in the forest. They cannot see the trees. And they're walking us right into the rise of the beast system. Nobody can make war with the beast. Once this thing is in place, it's over. And we're building it. And if more people saw information like this, we wouldn't be building it, would we? Or at least more people would be aware of what's going on. But the algorithms already have a lot of power because they stop information like this from being seen in the mainstream. All right, you guys. Yeah, Larry is 80 years old. He looks like he's 50 or 60. How is this possible? All right, you guys, let's take a look at these videos. Listen carefully, and I'll try to pause intermittently.
OpenAI and Microsoft are teaming up for a massive project called Stargate. That's all about making a super powerful AI computer. They're planning to spend more than $100 billion on it, which is a huge deal because it's going to be one of the biggest efforts ever in building data centers. They want to have it up and running by 2028, and it's expected to be bigger and more advanced than any data center we've seen before.
Okay, you see the problem here? 2028. So this was going to happen regardless of whether or not Trump got elected, right? Are you seeing this? I hope you are. Because they said it was going to be up and running in 2028, right in the middle of Trump's presidency. So if Biden won, it still would have happened. You know, people keep telling me, oh, well, no, Trump, this is Trump's agenda. No, it's their agenda. Both sides. Let's keep watching.
This big project is Microsoft and OpenAI working together to build not just one, but a bunch of super advanced computers, and Stargate is going to be the best of them all. Microsoft is ready to put up the money needed for this. The whole thing depends on OpenAI getting a big update done on their platform sometime next year. Even though neither company has officially said much about it, the fact that they haven't denied it when asked makes people even more curious and excited about what's coming.
Do you see now that Biden was never slated to win? Because could you imagine Biden being on the podium saying, "Oh, we'd like to introduce OpenAI, Stargate. We've got a Stargate project. We're going to bring us in." No, of course not. They needed Trump to do that. So they already knew 9 months ago that this was going to be Trump.
This is happening at a time.
Listen, you don't invest $100 billion unless you are absolutely sure of what the future holds, correct?
Time when there's a lot of competition in the world of AI, where companies are always trying to outdo each other with new tech. It's not just about who has the best computers, it's also about who has the smartest strategies for using them. Companies are spending billions to get ahead in this race. There are other companies like OpenStreamed AI doing interesting things too, like making AI that can have conversations without sticking to a predefined script. This makes for more natural and varied interactions. With all these developments, the competition in AI is getting more intense, and Microsoft and OpenAI want to be at the forefront of it. The tech industry, especially the AI part of it, is growing super fast. Projects like Stargate show just how ambitious and innovative companies are getting. Experts think that the AI market is going to be worth trillions of dollars soon, including everything from the AI software and
so Kamala, so all would have, I said Biden, but it was Kamala, right? Do you see? Let me go back into the chat. Let me see if maybe I'm the crazy one. 9 months ago, it didn't matter. They already had pre-selected Trump. They wouldn't have invested billions, almost trillions of dollars into the future unless they already knew Trump was going to be the one to bring them into the golden age. Your vote doesn't matter. And I hope this reaches a significant portion of people so they can understand that we've all been rope-a-doped. Can you imagine Kamala Harris up there going, yeah, we're going to, let's see, can we do a Kamala Harris impression? I don't think I can. But you can imagine her up there saying, oh, we're going to do Stargate. Of course she wouldn't. She doesn't know how to form a sentence. They needed Trump and they knew it. They knew it. Now, for some of you think, well, what can I do now? It's too late. I already voted. Well, there's actually not much you can do at this point. The algorithms now control any popular thought. And if you speak anything against Trump, a lot of people still think he's the savior, or they're so glad that he's getting rid of illegals and all these things that they're just going to accept whatever else it comes with. Let's keep watching here. Wow.
Hardware to services that use AI, like cloud computing. Supercomputers like Stargate are going to be key to this growth, helping to make AI even more powerful and able to do new things in areas like health, finance, transport, and more. This push for better.
There you go. Exactly the trifecta that I told you was going to happen. The AI is controlling it. Health, finance, and transport. Remember? I said you're not going to be able to go anywhere without your health, and then your money is going to be linked into it. They can just turn it all off whenever they want. And it's here.
Transport and more. This push for better AI is expected to lead to a lot of good stuff, like making businesses more efficient and sparking new kinds of technological progress. But there are also big challenges, like making sure AI makes fair decisions, protecting people's privacy, figuring out how automation will affect jobs, and dealing with the environmental impact of.
So there you go. This is the false. This is supposed to make you feel good. Oh, it's okay. It's all going to be regulated. Who makes the decisions of what the AI can and can't do? It ain't you and me. They're not doing a vote saying, oh, hey, do you guys think that, I'm going to play this part back because this is important. Okay. Let's listen to this again. Fair decisions about protecting people's privacy.
Figuring
okay.
out how automation will affect jobs.
How it will affect jobs. So they're going to literally, they're going to plug this information to an algorithm that will decide, look, companies are even going to use this for hiring. They'll just plug you in an algorithm. And guess what? The AI will go out and look into the data stream and say, oh, well, we're not going to hire Casey Brown because we're seeing on here that, he's posting stuff that is, exposes us. So now you're blacklisted. And who do you go to complain about this? Nobody, because it's all controlled by the algorithm. And they're going to automate jobs. Why isn't Trump talking about all the jobs that are going to be lost when everything's run by AI and robotics?
And dealing with the environmental impact of running big AI systems. Plus,
now, what you're going to hear next is just, I can't even believe it. This Stargate project, they say, requires so much power that it exceeds even an entire nuclear power plant. A traditional nuclear power plant is not enough power to run Stargate. What does that tell you? Remember the Stargate SG-1 series, science fiction series? It required huge amounts of power. Remember? Well, the same applies to this Stargate. It requires like 2 nuclear reactors to function. So it's got a lot of power demands. It's got water demands. This is why a lot of these are being built near reservoirs and dams. Because dam, you get the twofer, right? You get the generation of electricity and you get the water. Just like in the TV series Westworld, where the AI was actually stored inside the dam.
Plus, there's the worry that only a few big companies will control the most powerful AI technologies, which could make it harder for new ideas and companies to emerge. The success of something as ambitious as Stargate will depend on getting the tech right, making sure it's used responsibly, and having clear rules about how it's used. Now, following on the exciting developments in the AI industry, Adobe is stepping up its game with the launch of Firefly services. This new suite introduces over 20.
So I got one more AI video for you. This one goes into a little bit more detail, and I'll put links to these 2 videos. As we speak, nuclear power plants are coming online across the United States. Bill Gates literally has his own nuclear power plant, so he can cash in. because they need to drive the beast, the AI.
An ambitious and visionary project named Project Stargate. This initiative involves the creation of a $100 billion AI supercomputer designed.
And again, this video is from 9 months ago, so it was going to happen regardless of who became president. You guys, pretty soon this thing is going to become predictive. It will literally, they'll plug in the data and they'll literally do pre-crime.
With the ultimate goal of achieving artificial general intelligence, AGI, and potentially super intelligence by the year 2028. Project Stargate represents a significant leap forward in the field of artificial intelligence, pushing the boundaries of what we currently understand and can achieve with AI technology. This massive investment and the scale of the project highlight the intense drive and commitment to advancing AI capabilities to unprecedented levels. In this video, we will dive into the intricate details of Project Stargate, exploring its phases, the technological challenges it faces, and the strategic importance behind this colossal endeavor. We will also discuss the potential implications for the future of AI and how this project could transform various aspects of technology and society. The 5 phases of Project Stargate. Project Stargate, an ambitious endeavor by Microsoft and OpenAI, is designed to unfold in 5 distinct phases over the next several years. Each phase represents a significant step towards achieving the project's ultimate goal, building a supercomputer capable of powering artificial general intelligence, AGI, and potentially superintelligence. Let's dive into the details of each phase. Phase 1-3, laying the groundwork. Current status. As of now, Microsoft and OpenAI are in the middle of Phase 3. These initial phases are fundamental, involving substantial investments in AI server chips and the construction of advanced data centers. These facilities are being equipped to handle the rapidly escalating demands of AI computing, providing a robust infrastructure for future developments. Key focus. The primary focus during these phases is on building the essential infrastructure required to support the ambitious goals of Project Stargate. This includes acquiring the latest AI chips, which are critical for the performance and scalability of AI systems. The cost of these phases is heavily weighted towards procuring these specialized AI server chips, underscoring their importance in the overall plan. Phase 4, building the intermediate supercomputer. Timeline, scheduled for completion. Around 2026, Phase 4 marks a significant step forward with the creation of a smaller-scale supercomputer. Location. This phase will see the construction of the supercomputer in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. Microsoft has already initiated a $1 billion data center expansion in this location, laying the groundwork for this next stage. Investment. The estimated cost for Phase 4 is approximately $10 billion, which is significantly higher than the costs associated with existing data centers. This investment reflects the advanced technology and infrastructure required for this phase. Technology. Microsoft plans to utilize NVIDIA-made AI chips, continuing its reliance on NVIDIA's cutting-edge GPU technology. These chips are essential for the performance and efficiency of the supercomputer, enabling it.
Now, before I play the rest of this, understand that the dead giveaway here is that Trump is downplaying Stargate AI. You guys, this will literally run everything. And yet we got not one mention during his inaugural address. He mentions it after the fact. And literally, sometimes it's what people don't say that is the dead giveaway, isn't it? I can't even begin to explain to you the danger of this hive brain. Because once it's given control and command of everything, that's when the true surveillance state begins. Let's watch a little bit more of this, and I'll give you an example of something I witnessed recently that will help put this in perspective for you about what's coming.
To handle complex AI tasks with high precision and speed. Phase 5, Project Stargate. Timeline. The final and most ambitious phase, Project Stargate, is set to launch as soon as 2028 and expand through 2030. This phase represents the culmination of years of planning and investment. This phase involves the largest investment of the project, estimated at $100 billion. This makes it one of the most significant technological projects in history, reflecting its potential impact on the field of AI and beyond. Power requirements. The supercomputer will require several gigawatts of power, equivalent to the energy needed to run multiple large data centers today. This immense power requirement highlights the scale and ambition of Project Stargate. Technological challenges. There are several key challenges to overcome in this phase. One major challenge is designing a system to prevent overheating due to the high density of GPUs. Another challenge is selecting appropriate networking cables to ensure efficient data transfer within the supercomputer. These technical hurdles must be addressed to achieve the project's ambitious goals. Powering Stargate. Gigawatt needs. The Stargate project is expected to require up to 5 gigawatts GW of power, significantly higher than the power needs of most existing data centers. This colossal energy requirement reflects the project's ambitious scale and the computational demands of developing AGI and superintelligence. Comparison. To put this into perspective, the largest nuclear power station in the US, Palo Verde in Arizona, has a total capacity of 3.9 GW. Stargate's energy demands surpass even this, highlighting the need for innovative energy solutions. Alternative energy sources. Nuclear power. Given the immense power requirements, Microsoft and OpenAI are considering nuclear power as a primary energy source. This includes potential investments in small modular reactors, SMRs, and other advanced nuclear technologies. SMRs. These miniaturized fission reactors can produce tens to hundreds of megawatts, making them a feasible and scalable option for data centers. SMRs are designed to be more flexible and safer than traditional reactors, providing a steady power supply that can meet the high demands of AI supercomputers. Nuclear partnerships. Microsoft has shown interest in nuclear energy by hiring experts in nuclear technologies and exploring partnerships with companies like Oklo, which is developing small nuclear reactors. These collaborations aim to leverage cutting-edge nuclear solutions to power the Stargate project efficiently and sustainably. Renewable energy. There are also discussions about supplementing the energy needs of the Stargate project with renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power. While renewable energy alone may not meet the entire demand, it can play a significant role in diversifying the energy mix and reducing the overall carbon footprint.
Now, Trump did put a freeze on wind energy in some way, shape, or form, but I don't expect this to last. I think that he's going to jump right back on board with this as soon as the need for it comes up.
Strategic investments. Land acquisition. Microsoft is acquiring large tracts of land to build data centers that will house millions of specialized server chips designed for AI workloads. These land acquisitions are strategically located to support the infrastructure and energy needs of the project. Energy infrastructure. The project may involve building dedicated power plants or securing power purchase agreements, PPAs, with existing nuclear and renewable energy providers. These measures ensure a stable and sufficient power supply, crucial for the continuous operation of AI systems.
Trump said before he was even elected during the campaign, "I will make so much electricity, you'll be begging me to turn it off."
Challenges and considerations. Regulatory compliance. Utilizing nuclear power involves stringent regulatory requirements for the handling and disposal of nuclear waste, which can remain hazardous for thousands of years. Microsoft must navigate these regulations carefully to ensure compliance and safety. Environmental impact. The environmental implications of using nuclear power, including the potential increase in nuclear waste, are significant concerns. Microsoft needs to address these through robust scenario planning and adherence to environmental regulations to minimize the impact.
My guess is that they will say they're firing off this nuclear waste into space, is what they'll say. Okay. This is what they'll say. This is why they had to come up with the whole infinite space meme. Is, oh, we just sent it into the sun. It's on its way to the sun, and everyone will believe it. But then we'll start seeing debris falling out of the sky, or they'll just secretly bury it in the ocean. And then we'll find out, like, after everything's dead in the ocean, like decades later, if we're around that long, we'll be like, oh, it was a big scandal. They weren't actually firing it off into space.
Feasibility. The feasibility of building such a large-scale data center with these power requirements is still under discussion. Key considerations include the location, design, and integration of various power sources to ensure the project's success. Microsoft's strategic planning and investments will play a crucial role in overcoming these challenges and realizing the ambitious goals of Project Stargate. By betting on nuclear energy and exploring innovative power solutions, Microsoft aims to meet the unprecedented energy demands of Project Stargate. This strategic move underscores the company's commitment to advancing AI technology.
So do you see how environmentalism has not gone away? It's not going away. Because if it was going away, Trump wouldn't have worked with these companies that are all into environmentalism, right?
While addressing the critical challenge of sustainable and reliable energy supply. GPUs for Project Stargate. NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture. For Project Stargate, the proposed $100 billion supercomputer initiative by Microsoft and OpenAI, GPUs are critical due to their massive parallel processing capabilities. This allows
A black well, which is a poisoned well, a poisoned pit, a swamp, black water.
for the training and operation of advanced AI models at an unprecedented scale. NVIDIA's next-generation Blackwell GPU architecture is set to play a pivotal role in this endeavor. Here's a detailed look at why these GPUs are essential for Project Stargate. Blackwell architecture overview. Successor to Hopper. NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture succeeds the Hopper architecture and is specifically optimized to Hopper. NVIDIA's
It's Tlaylock. The chip looks like, let's pull up a picture. This is unbelievable. Tlaylock, of course, the volcano god from which the lithium comes for superconducting chips. Wow. Let's just look at some images of Tlaylock. You really can't make this up, you guys. Let's find a good picture of him with his teeth. Now, I know it's not exact, but you have to wonder if this is what they weren't going for. Let's keep watching.
Blackwell architecture succeeds the Hopper architecture and is specifically optimized for large language models, LLMs like GPT-5 and other generative AI workloads. Innovations. Key innovations include a second-generation transformer engine, fifth-generation tensor cores, and support for new data formats like FP4, FP6, which enhance AI compute capabilities. Flagship GPU. The flagship Blackwell GPU, the B200, boasts 208 billion transistors and delivers up to 20.
Now, the rest of this is more just technical stuff. I'll put a link to this video. Now, before we get into the 10 crowns and what this is all about, I want to share with you something that happened on a YouTube channel that I follow. Let me go back into the chat. I was recently watching a YouTube fishing channel that went viral. And why did they go viral? Well, they said that Fish and Game. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Did we get knocked off? Learn more to continue. Wow. You kidding me? Wow. Let's see here. Unbelievable. Let's see. Hold on, you guys. Try to figure this out. Let me turn off my screen real quick so you don't see my password. Unbelievable. Give this a second here. Use the pass. Oh, we want the, let's see. We want the authenticator app. Okay. Okay, I guess we're back. Can you believe that? That has never happened. And if that's any indication that we're over the target, I don't know what else is, you guys. Turn the screen back on. Literally, YouTube forced me to verify my account while we were live on the air. Let's make sure everything's working and we'll continue on here. Can you guys hear me? Testing, testing. All right. Let's get a... Yes, we're live. I can see the chat. Are you guys there? Let's let this catch up and we'll continue. Wasn't that weird? They literally threw me off and made me sign back in. Okay, so we're good. Now, let's continue on here so we don't have a huge interruption in this broadcast. This is very important. I was watching let's see, what was the last thing you guys heard before we got kicked off or whatever? What was the last thing you heard? Yes, the AI heard us talking about it. Wow. Elon is watching. Look, I think the most profound reason why they would have kicked us off is because we demonstrated that this project was going to go through regardless of whether or not Kamala became the president. Do you see? Okay, what was the last thing you guys heard? Oh, fishing. Okay, thank you. I was recently watching a YouTube fishing channel that went viral. They went viral because the Fish and Game showed up to their house to essentially write them a huge fine. Now, this isn't why this is important. What's important, it wasn't the fine. It wasn't the Fish and Game showed up to his house, because they do that sometimes. It was the investigation that led up to it. What was the guy doing? Well, he was snagging paddlefish. Everybody knows what a paddlefish is. They're this prehistoric looking fish with a flat bill that is in some fresh waters in the South. Now, it's illegal to do this in most areas, but not others. And this guy was literally in the wrong spot. He was near like a reserve, but it was a fine line because he was literally just a few yards over the line. Now, what I'm about to tell you next is an indication of the shape of things to come. And it's going to be unsettling for most of you, but it needs to be said so that you can understand what's coming. The Fish and Game officer cited him for paddlefish that he had caught over the course of a several-year investigation. In fact, up to 30 of his friends and people he knew were also under investigation for 3 years. They said that they had this guy on video. They had him on trail cam. Years. They watched him kill paddlefish illegally. They probably had drone surveillance of them doing this. And here's the dead giveaway. It was never about the fish. Because if it was about preserving the fish, the very first time they detected them killing a fish illegally, they would have either wrote him a huge fine or they would have given a warning. But instead, they waited. Fish and Game literally waited for hundreds of fish to be killed before they showed up and started writing fines for these people. 3 years of intel. It's not about the fish. This is about control. They do not want you taking anything from nature. That's what this is about. Do you see now the danger of artificial intelligence running something like this? It would be like super policing. Pretty soon, robots are going to show up to your door to arrest you and write you a fine. This is Agent 3425. We've detected that drone 5472 caught you killing paddlefish, and your fine is $25,000. Here's your fine. And then like something prints out of the chest of this robot and hands it to you. Now, what is the goal? The goal is to take your property, to fine you into oblivion. Some of these people had $20,000 fines. Because if you don't pay it, that's the government. That's the federal government. They can come after your property. And this is what they want to do. They don't want anyone having private property. So now policing is going to be automated. There's no escape. Now, let's get into the rest of this. This is a concept of what this supercomputer, Stargate AI, will maybe look like. Does this ring any bells? You guys, it looks like a portal or like a crown. Now, we also know that the Stargate was named after the Stargate from the TV series, which was a ring. Remember that? Well, they just announced that there are about 10 countries that have these. Rings are crowns. Are these the 10 crowns? Here they are. These data centers. Number 10, Japan. Number 9, Russia. Number 8, the Netherlands. 7, Australia. France. Canada. China. The UK. Germany. And the United States. We already have a bunch of these data centers. We're already the leader in data centers. So when they put these crowns in, crowns, i.e. Stargates, because the entire goal of this is to get out of this world. This is what the fallen ones are trying to do. How are they going to do it? They're building Stargates to try to break through, to get to the trees of the garden. Now, tomorrow, NASA, literally 48 hours after we talked about the Northern Lights being a possible portal to the Garden of Eden. Remember that? The swinging swords of the angels blocking the route back to the garden. The Bible never says the garden disappeared. The garden never disappeared, did it? We were just simply thrown out of the garden. So the garden is still there somewhere. Well, guess what NASA did 48 hours after we talked about that? They sent rockets up into the Northern Lights. So we'll talk about all that tomorrow. We'll continue on with the Trump tracker and the updates. And we're going to finish up the rest of the Fire and Ice Midsommar. You guys, a rocket is fire. They send it up into the ice. More fire and ice. So, I know things are going at a fever pitch. I'm doing everything I can to keep up on this. We need to be warning everybody about the rise of AI. Well, people are brainwashed. There's not much you're going to be able to do. But you guys, we can't even get this message out to the rest of the truth community. There are very few channels condemning AI. Most of them are going along with it. There's only a handful of channels that I know that are condemning AI and seeing it for what it is. The beast. All right, I'm back in the chat, you guys. We'll do a little Q&A to finish up the show. I'm sure Rebecca has her hands full. We have a pretty large crowd today. If you're new to the channel, we go live every single day, except for Saturday, because I need a break. And we're live at this exact same time every morning. If you subscribe to the channel, only about half of you are going to get notifications. And the other half, they unsubscribe you from the channel regularly. That happens to about 80% of the people that subscribe to this channel. The AI goes in and unsubscribes you. So you're just going to have to check back every day because we're here every day. So this is what we do. We try to just provide evidence about what's coming. Most of our daily shows have a 99% thumbs up rating. I'm starting to put the thumbs up rating down in the pinned comment so that people can see, because the AI has gotten rid of the rating, but I can see it on the back end. So I'll be posting that so you can see that we're not just blowing hot air. All right, what else is going on, you guys? Yep, get ready for the slave chain. Welcome everybody. Charmaine says she thinks Russia will take Europe. Yes, Joe. Block cube chain. All right. Now, if you didn't know, there's another fire in LA. There's another one in San Diego. So Southern California is on fire again in the middle of winter. Fire and ice. So we'll continue to track that as well. All right, you guys, we're going to pop off of here. I will see you guys all tomorrow with Midsommar, Fire and Ice, and some more Trump updates, possibly, probably. Much love, everybody. Take care.